everyone. My name is Lucia and I will have a short presentation of the case Pernod Ricard. This is the company that Aleš was talking about before. So we did the consultancy for in the field of social responsibility for them. As Aleš mentioned, Pernod Ricard International, the big Pernod Ricard company is really international, is a big company for alcohol beverages. And they have place in France. Also Patrick Ricard, who is CEO, is in France. But in Slovenia, we have this small company, Pernod Ricard Slovenia. And of course, the international Pernod Ricard is their mother organization. So how our cooperation started? Actually, Pernod Ricard Slovenia approaches us, and they are the one that was. They were asking us if we can help them with integration of social responsibility in their business. And the reason for that was that the Pernod Ricard International, the mother organization, have a really good strategy on social responsibility. They have a lot of activities and they're doing quite a lot of things in this area. As you saw before, Patrick Ricard, he really understands they're responsible. What is their responsibility to the society, that the product is really a problem, alcohol beverages are the problem, and to continue with their business, to have a social license to operate, they really have to understand the customers and they really have to sell a product responsible, so that no children, no women who are pregnant, or the drivers who are driving cars won't drink their beverages. So their demands was that they demand for this from these small companies like Pernod Ricard Slovenia that they also have to have a social responsibility strategy in their business. And Pernod Ricard Slovenia is a small company with 30 employees, and this social responsibility concept was really new concept for them. They didn't have a strategy. They didn't have a person. I mean, they have a person responsible for social responsibility in the company, but they didn't have a structure. Because if you want to implement social responsibility in the companies, there has to be a structure. Like the CEO have to recognize the importance of this field. So there should be in the beginning somewhere in the CEO, somewhere in the board, who is responsible for social responsibility, and then there are other persons and PR companies, and all employees are the ambassadors of social responsibility. So when we enter the company, when we start working with them, they had a little activities on that field, but they didn't have a lot. So our work was like that we have 2 workshops with them, and between that 2 workshops we have some gap analysis of their activities, and then we make suggestions for them how should they implement the social responsibility activities in their business. So, but I will explain all these workshops and our activities later. So the first workshop was with all the, there was around 5 leaders of them. So there was a director of Pernod Ricard, and there was a leader for, marketing, and for the finance, and the other part of company. So we presented to them the concept of CSR and sustainability concept, like Aleš presented to you before. And then we present also ISO 26000, which is the standard for social responsibility, and how to integrate social responsibility into a business operation. So we presented all this concept, but all the time we were making connections between their businesses, the business of Pernod Ricard Slovenia, and the business of Pernod Ricard International, because Pernod Ricard International already has mentioned before, a big strategy, a great strategy for social responsibility, but Pernod Ricard International is a big company, and it's a little difference between a small company in Slovenia and the big company in the France. So we connected these two things, and you can see here on the picture, this is actually a molecule. It's a molecule from Pernod Ricard International, and this is their main social responsibility. In the middle, there are employees, and employees are the one who have to do all the activities, who has to understand social responsibility. Then they also have three others, other important fields like promoting responsible drinking, protect our planet, and develop our communities and partners. So here you can see the areas. These areas are connected with ISO 26000 because ISO 26000 have 7 core subjects, and these 7 core subjects are environment, customers, fair operating practices, organizational governance. But of course, I mean, all the 7 core subjects are important, but in some company, for some company, maybe environment will be more or less important than, I don't know, something else like customers, if they don't have customers. So for Pernod Ricard, really these 3 or 4 areas are very important. And then are also the principles of social responsibility, like integrity and transparency and other principles. In this first workshop, we also did a stakeholder metric. This is where we identify all their stakeholders, and this was very important for us to do because they were all familiar with stakeholders like customers and stakeholders like suppliers, transporters, and there is also Pernod Ricard Group. But when we discuss about the stakeholders, we saw that not all the customers are the same. That they shouldn't treat all the customers the same because they could be a customer who is a child under 18 years old, or there is also the difference between customer and consumer. Because the consumers, there are also a lot of types of consumers, like a normal adult consumers, and consumers who is driving a car, and consumers, a woman who is pregnant. And when we discuss about stakeholders, we discuss also the problems. What are the problems when they are communicating with stakeholders? For example, they said they had a not very good relationship with the stakeholders, the government, or the stakeholders that are non-profitable organization. So after this first workshop, we did in Equilib Institute, we did intermediate analysis that we used a CSR toolkit. This is a tool that was developed by CSR International. The Martin is the CEO of CSR International. And this toolkit is based on ISO 26000 standard and it has a lot of questions regarding social responsibility. What we did, we examined all the 7 core subjects, all the questions, and we evaluate all the questions of these 7 core subjects. And there are around 280 questions. For example, do you have a sustainability report? How you're doing with stakeholders? And other questions, other social responsibility questions. So there are a lot of questions, and we evaluate them, and we gave them a grade from 1 to 5. And after we did all this, so we gave them a grade, how significant is some questions for organization, and what are they doing already on that field. After this evaluation, the tool gave us a gap, how big is a gap, and this is shown in colors. So the red color mean is a big gap, and the dark the dark green color means is okay, that you are doing okay on that field. And I can tell you that, for example, yeah, you cannot see, but this is, for example, sustainable reporting, it's a red because they didn't have anything. Even on their website, on their brochures, in their reports, there was nothing about sustainability. So in general, the general organizational P chart gave us these colors. The worst, you can see it's pink, was the involvement in the community and development. And the reason for that was that, yeah, they were doing some activities for the community, but they have a really bad relationship with non-governmental organizations because, and with governmental organizations, because they were selling alcohol, and all non-governmental organizations was like, you are the bad guys because you're selling alcohol and we don't want to do anything with you. But maybe Aleš can tell us that now is different. They start to communicate with this non-governmental organization after our suggestion, and now right now, they are actually are cooperating with some non-governmental organization in Slovenia, a family lab. So it was just the beginning. It's always like that with stakeholders in the beginning. There are some, it's not always easy to communicate with stakeholders to have something in common, but you have to begin, especially you have to identify your stakeholders. And non-governmental organizations, for example, for this company, for companies who are selling alcohol, are very important. So these are all 7 core subjects of social responsibility, and we analyze all of them. But these all 7 core subjects are also very connected with 5 commitments of the industry. These 5 commitments of the industry are, this was established by the Pernod Ricard International. They set up these 5 commitments, like reducing alcohol consumption with minors, reducing drunk driving, and stuff like that. And what we did, we combine everything together and we make suggestions. What should they do with? What should they do better? What activities should they do in the field? For example, in the field of responsible consumption, and especially we pointed out that not only taking care for, as I said before, responsible consumption is important, but also the company should have organizational structure. This is the first, the core subject: organizational structure, organizational governance. If there is nothing on that field, then also other activities are impossible, or it's hard to do other activities if organizational structure is not proper. So then we also make suggestions for information communication section, because as Aleš told us before, transparency is a sister of social responsibility, so their report should have social responsible parts, and also their website should reflect their activities on the field of social responsibility. And there is a case, there is something touchy I can show you. This was their first website, and this is how they're doing now. And it's not just about the structures of the website or the design, it's also about what is written here. Before they had some sentence that was said by Mr. Ricard and the other CEO about responsible drinking, so something general, and then they have something about the history of alcohol, and then they had also some guidelines on the responsible drinking use of alcohol, and that was it. So nothing else. Well, it was good, but there was no structure, there was no strategy, there was no point what social responsibility is really, why is this really important for them. So now they have 3 sections: global strategy, then there is a local offer, and there is a code of marketing communication. And for example, in global strategy, they have this molecule of their social responsibility, and they have all the description why is social responsibility really important for them and for Pernod Ricard International. Here in a local offer, they have their activities, what they are doing on the field of social responsibility. They, for example, they are talking about employees, how they are taking care of employees. They have this wine drinking application. It's a very nice application on your smartphone. And they have also other projects. Well, for example, if you can see before, there was nothing about what they are doing on the field of social responsibility. And if some customers go there and they see, well, what they are doing, nothing. So it's very important that you are talking about what you're doing. And of course, code of marketing communication is also important because it's important how you do the marketing for alcohol beverages. We also did the suggestions for annual report in 4 pages because they're a small company, and in the end, this is how the sustainable report look like. Well, they didn't use it yet because they were doing on the website, but this 4 pages report is also a good way to present your activities, and it's a good start to do the sustainable report. So in the end, we did these final reports. We gather all the suggestions, all the information, and we give them like a package of all the suggestions and all the things. And yeah, now they are using our suggestions, and I hope they will be good in the future also in the field of social responsibility.